Hello, hello. It's Allie. How's everybody's Sunday going? We're going to start just a couple minutes early. This one is going to be a little bit longer just because it's a little bit more involved, but I totally wanted to do this with you guys today. There we go. I'm just making sure that I can see your comments on the screen today. How is everybody's Sunday? Come on in and let me know where you're joining us from today, because we're going to have some fun. Go in a little bit closer here. There we go. So again, for today's live, if you're joining us live, hi. If you're joining us on the replay, hi, I'm Allie. Every Sunday, I try my best to give away a card, whatever we're making. So, hello, Beth. How are you? So, today we're doing a birthday card. And I wanted to work with some stencils and some die cuts and some nice, vibrant inks. And yeah, we're just going to have fun. And I wanted to show you what a shutter card looks like. So, has a belly band and it just helps keep it closed. But this is what the inside of our card today is going to look like. Ta-da! It's basically kind of like a little lens. And we're going to be making one of these today. Hi, Sue. Hi, Carol. Welcome, welcome. So again, comment on today's live and somebody's going to win a card. And what I'll do, since it's a birthday card, I won't write anything in it, but I'll just send it to you to use. So there we go. This is a fun one. This is a little different and a little bit more involved. So that's why we're starting right on the dot here, because it is like 2:59 according to my mountain time. So you like the colors? Yeah, I thought I'd go something a little unique. I mean, you don't see this kind of rainbow, but thought it was fun. So a little bit close up there. We even used some gold paint to have some fabulous sparkle. Guess who doesn't love sparkle for a birthday, even if it is for a boy? Because I mean, it does have pink on it and purple, but I still think you could make this masculine, right? Well, let's get started. Your birthday's on Wednesday. There you go. Powell River. I think I've actually been through Powell River once. Okay, let's get started, guys. So I'm going to show you first this, because this is freaking brilliant. Okay, so this is by Photo Play here. And they make these kits that make all kinds of interactive cards. So, hi, Deanna. Football, too. Yoo-hoo. Gold sparkle, yes. So, Photoplay has all of these different packages that make interactive cards. This one happens to be a shutter card, so it makes that little lens part, like a shutter, right? Okay. Each kit is different. Some kits have 3 cards, some kit have 5. It just depends on what's listed. Okay. And some of them do include dies. This one does not, but that's okay. Not a big deal. And the beautiful thing is they put all of their written instructions on the inside, so you know exactly how to put everything together, which is awesome. So if you have somebody who's like a new card maker, this would be a great gift idea, is to send a couple of the interactive card pieces. You might have to sit down with them if they're a first timer, and you might have to introduce die cutting. But great way to get into doing it maybe with your kids or grandkids, or just doing it as a club. Yeah. So it gives you options, right? Because you don't always have to look up, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? When you just buy the whole thing and it's like literally step by step. So it's beautiful. Beautiful. Great product. Okay, so this one is fairly involved. As you can see, there's a number of pieces here. Okay, we have card bases, belly bands. We have the piece that is eventually going to have a circle cut in it. And then we have like our flag ends or bird's mouth cut ends. And they have graciously actually put on their cardstock. So you don't even have to measure anything out for this. You're just going to take your good old scissors, and I always cut a little bit to the left of that line because I really don't want that line to show up on my card. So I'm basically cutting it off is what I'm doing. Okay, so there's one cut, and we need 2 of these, so I will cut the other one. And again, the instructions are complete in your packaging, which is fantastic. Okay, so getting this little baby ready. Okay, this one is ready. I'm just going to put my extras, because like I said, there's multiple cards in a pack, so I'm going to put them aside so that I don't go and use them. I am going to take our circle die, because in this one, we need to cut the circle out of this piece of paper. So I'm going to bring in Mr. Ruler and a pencil. And I just want to make sure that we get my circle centered. So this is 3 inches wide. Yeah, I actually need lead here. 1.5. I'm going to extrapolate it down here so my line is straight. This is just to aid me to get it centered. And we need to do this length too. So this is 5.5. So half of 5 is 2.5 and half is 1/4. And again, we're just trying to find the center of this block. Did I leave my little friends in here? I'm just looking for my circle die, guys. I have a little box off to the side here. And I'm going to use the same dies I did the last time. So I'm just going to pop this open and just make sure I have the right size. The circle die, of course, that's too small. But you don't want to have a die that's too big because you'll just cut everything off. And you don't want to do that. That one's a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll use this one. That works. Because I wanted a little bit more of our cute little cupcake to show. So we'll make our circle a little bit wider. Let's put these aside. So our kits, Sue, are in the shop. So you are on Scrap and Stamps Facebook page. So we are a company out of Vancouver, BC. And these are in the shop as we speak. Now, let me show you a trick for getting your circle die centered. So, this one's not going to work because we changed the size. So, I always have scrap pieces of paper off to the side here. Like I use sometimes my junk mail just for scribbling on, inking on, things like that. Okay, so take the circle that you want to use and you're going to die cut it. This is just good old copy paper. So 2 seconds. And like I said, there are multiple kinds of card kits for cards like this that are interactive. Okay, so take your little coffee paper copy of your circle and you're basically just going to fold it. Okay, fold it into quarters. And what this does is gives you basically the lines to match up your die. Okay, so this is the exact same size as our die that we want to use. Now, if you look at the paper, there's your four creases with your pencil lines. Okay. And what this does is it centers, finds the center for you. And I just used just a low tack piece of tape. Creates this little ridge. So you just have to kind of make it so that it's grabbing that piece of paper. And if you've got everything sitting right, this one doesn't want to play nice today. Okay. Hang on. I'm just trying to find that ridge because it doesn't want to sit properly on that piece of paper. Normally this takes me like a millisecond, but of course today, being live, stuff always never works out the way you want it, right? Okay, another piece of low tack tape here. And don't worry about, you don't have to take out that under piece because you don't have to worry about it at all because it'll just cut around it. Okay, so you're going to take this to your machine, and I'm not going to put it on camera today. I'm just going to rock and roll off to the side here. Okay. Oops, there goes my heat gun. All right. Okay. And there we go. I want to make sure all your tape comes off. Come on, little fella. Come on. Be a good boy. I don't know why this tape is like extra sticky today, but it is. All right. So now you can just take a good old white eraser and erase any of those lines that you see. Because you want it to be nice and crisp and white again. All right. So there we go. That piece is ready. Our two banner ends. This is eventually going to become the piece that wraps around our card to keep our card closed. Oops. And this is our card base here. And we'll get to this stuff in a moment. Okay, we'll set this aside. What we need to do first is we need to create a couple of cupcakes. So today we're using a die from Paper Rose, and this is the cupcake metal die, and it comes like this. It's all one and connected. You can snip them apart. I didn't bother today because we didn't need to, and that's what we're going to start with. Okay. Yeah, Carol says, yes, with interactive cards, you almost need to go back to like a tutorial sometimes. Split Coast Stampers is a really good one. They have hundreds of tutorials if you're interested in looking for interactive cards or card ideas. Okay, I'm going to take my good old Scotch tape here. And we're going to add some skin cells to get rid of the stickiness. What I'm just using this piece of paper for is just to hold all my pieces and parts. Because otherwise you get really, really inky fingers. Okay. So this cupcake has quite a few parts. And some of them are going to leave white. So I'm going to leave like the outlines white. You can't really see them a whole lot here, but there's some tiny little cupcake topper. Okay, we don't need to ink those. Now we have like the wrapper base, so I'm just gonna stick them down together because I want them like the dark purple. We have our cherries. The body of the cherry, like such. And then we have all of the actual cupcake pieces. So like the whipped topping or whatever you want to call it, frosting. And just want to make sure that you got all of them. And I'm just lining them up according to color, because we're going to do these one color, and these one a different color. Hang on, we're getting there. This stuff all takes a little bit of time, but we're making this so that it's a fast, easy inking process. I'm just making sure that I have 2 of each kind, and we do. Okay, so we're going to start with our cherry, and we're going to use Catherine Pooler inks. You guys know that this is my jam for inks here. Hang on, I just gotta wave my, oh, there we go. Just want to be able to see your comments. Okay, we're just going to go ink pad to paper. We're making it really easy. So I'm just going to swipe. Okay. So if you do that, your ink is going to be very vibrant. Now you can absolutely go in with a blending brush like this and do it. But we're looking for a little bit of speed today. So we're going to do it that way. Okay. We're going to do our cupcake liners, this crushed velvet. And I really don't want to hit any of my frosting here, so I'm going to be careful. And again, I'm just doing ink pad to paper. And you can go in different directions, that's okay. And I'm okay if it's splotchy, because it's paper. Paper. Okay. Now, so I don't contaminate, I'm going to take these purple off because I don't want to touch my Tiara ink pad to my purples. So, there we go. And again, these can be absolutely cut out of cardstock. Absolutely. But I want everything to be matchy-matchy. So, I'll take off these little babies, because now we're going to assemble. Just have to peel. Okay. Now, there's a secret to this part. Okay, if you guys have ever seen sewing tape or score tape or Be Creative tape, this is a great way to buy it for doing these kinds of things. So each of these is 6x6 double-sided adhesive sheets. So they come flat. Okay. This is great for making die cuts. Okay. Or assembling them. All kinds of names. All right. Now I need enough to do, don't know if this is going to be fat enough. We'll try this. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to peel off one side. It doesn't even matter which side because they're both sticky, okay? So peel off one side, and we are going to start this. And what you're going to do is you're literally just going to stick it to the paper, okay? Ba-da-da. And then we're going to do, it's sticking to my nails, so that's why. All right. Okay. Yes, there's lots of like cool sales going on in the shop today. Today is the last day to get, I believe it's 20% off Copics, Tombos, that kind of thing. So if you're in the market for some new markers, I believe there are only a few exceptions. So if you're in need of a few more colors, markers that you'd like to get, today's the day to do that. Go and shop at Scrap and Stamp and get those ordered today. I believe there's also a, I'm sticking to everything. There's also a pre-order for Tim's new Ranger Distress color. So if you're a distress color person, you can also add that as a pre-order to your shopping cart. So you're sure to get the colors when they are revealed next Saturday. Okay, I'm doing the other one just on the other side here. We should have enough room. Okay, putting the outline. I have a hard time picking them up with my nails. That's why I'm having to slide them off the table. It's nice having nice fingernails, but sometimes they don't work in your favor. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. And that's just like a puzzle. You're just going to add all of your pieces together. And this one's like a really easy puzzle. There's only a few parts. And what the adhesive is doing is basically keeping everything together so that it's tight, tightly pieced together. The cherries we're going to glue on separately, but we will back them. So, don't know if I have enough room for both, but we'll put one little fella in there to start. Okay. So, next, you just basically want to trim this just slightly underneath the paper. And basically what you're making is your own sticker. Okay. So this makes it really easy to apply to your project, and it also makes it easier to assemble it together. Now there is another way to do this, which I have done. If you take just a piece of copy paper and put a whole bunch of streaks of adhesive, you could even do wet adhesive, and then just apply your pieces like that. So basically you're making your own sticky paper, but I figured this is just as fast. Okay, so there we go. We just cut off all the pieces around. If I can get it to unstick from my hands, it'll be good. We'll come back to you, Mr. Cherry, in a second. Stay. Good boy. All right. This is kind of like more so the time-consuming part, but we're going to add some stickles to this, so it needs to dry first. That's why we're doing our little coop cakes first. Now, the person who comments today not only is going to get a card, but I have a little stash of brand new products that have never been used, and I will drop in a little goodie with your card today. Because I have a little stash that I'm slowly trying to get rid of, and I figured, oh, you guys would appreciate that. So today's winner will receive something out of my new stash there. Typically it's a Catherine Pooler product. So, and I think I have stamps there to give away. So if you're interested, don't forget to comment. We're almost there, I promise. We're getting there. This is the time-consuming part. Okay, there's 2. And cherry. Again, I'm just slightly undercutting them. Whoa. It's extra sticky. But these scissors clean up really well. And you can always use a non-stick pair, which is always helpful. And we will take just a little chunk out for our final cherry here. Okay. All right, Mr. Backing Paper, you gotta cooperate today. There we go. Something. Okay, little fella. Okay. There we go. So, if you haven't already told me, where is everybody from? And what's the weather like in your neck of the woods today? Today in Medicine Hat, Alberta, we live in the southern east corner of the province, and it's a little gray, and we had just a dusting of snow today. But it's not like super cold. We're like the rest of the country. We're expected to get a huge drop in temperatures for February. That's what they're predicting anyway. Okay. Final touch on our cute little die cuts. Cloudy and gray, Sue says. Hi, Lori. Okay. See, there are voids in the cupcake liner. I'm just going to fill those with stickles. Now, because you have put them on a sticky back paper, you can absolutely put in actual glitter if you wanted to. You don't have to use stickles. You could actually put glitter down in those gaps. And I always have a couple of bottles of like iridescent stickles. Like, this is my favorite kind. This is diamond. The other one I like is stardust. And I always have a bottle or 2 or 4 of these particular ones, because basically with them being clear, you can put them over top of any color. And what they do is they kind of reflect whatever color you're using, because they're not really tinted any particular color, which I like. Okay, there we go. So that's why we did these guys, because these guys now, they need to sit and dry. So we're going to put them over here somewhere safe. Hopefully where I'm not going to knock them. There are stems to our cherries, but we will deal with that when we adhere them. Oh, yeah, and I just bloobed all over the desk, but that's okay. That's what paper towel or microfiber cloths are for. Haha. Okay. Let's move on to using our stencil today. So today's stencil, this one is super fun. Yes, you know what, Lori? It's so funny because my last live, I forgot where I put the circle and it was sticking to my lamp right here. Okay, so this is Heffy Doodles. This one is called Numicon Stencil. Interesting. So all it is just a whole bunch of numbers. Very cool, right? And I thought this would be fun for a birthday. So it's not specifically like 64th birthday or 3rd. It's just like all the numbers. So super fun. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my bone folder first. What a name. I know. I thought it was weird too. Okay. So these are gatefold cards. So they're already pre-scored, which is fabulous. So I'm just going to make sure that they are completely scored and that they fit together and that there's no gap. Okay, now these are kind of flippy, right? They're not going to stay flat. Here's the secret. Oh, hello. Okay, so this is just Heffy Doodle memo tape. This is also in the store. This stuff is fabulous. Okay, so we're going to actually slip it inside the card, and you're going to close the flaps down, okay, right onto one another. And what the tape does is it holds it closed, and there's no, like, crease or bump because it's held together really nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a clean piece of paper here. It's just easier to work with something I can rip off the desk. Okay, you can also fold these back and use them to hold your card in place. So just bend them back. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so everything's like held into place. Yeehaw. Easy peasy. Then you gotta find wherever you're going to position your stencil. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either connect it to the card or you can connect it to the back of your, or the front of your stencil. Hi, Nora. Hi, Karen. Okay. I tend to do all 4 sides just because I really want to make sure that this stays flat against this thickness of that card. So I'm going to be extra careful today. Sorry for the movement. Okay, we are ready. Now we're going to bring in our inkies. Whoop, almost lost the lid there. Okay, so this, once again, is the card base. Okay, so this is the front of the card. We're going to start with our lightest color. That's funny. Okay, so we're going to start with our tiara. And I like to use blending brushes because I think you get a better application of ink. Of course, the juicier your ink pad, whatever you're using, it certainly helps. So we're just basically doing a third for each color, and we want a little bit of overlap. Okay, so you're going to go just slightly more than a third of the way down the card. You can even have that last little bit not so thick with ink. Okay, you can make it a little bit lighter so that when you do the overlap of the next color, it's going to be a little bit sheerer or transparent. So there is our tiara. I apologize if my camera is moving. Usually it's pretty good. Okay, puck wrap is for the center. Who doesn't love the name of this ink? Perfect for this time of year. And again, it depends on how juicy your ink pad is and how much ink your blending tool can absorb. When you are choosing brushes to purchase, I highly recommend a brush with some kind of white bristle. Okay? It just makes it easier to identify the ink that's on that brush. I have a fair number of brushes. I have large ones and small ones, but you really don't, you can wash these. You can have 3 and wash them in between uses. I just choose to have a few extra because it just makes it easier. You do not have to have like 18,000 of them. Okay, this is our crushed violet. And this is a beautiful deep purple. And I am going across that section and overlapping our 2 colors. So my ink pads are cooperating with me today. They're nice and juicy and doing good. And of course, if you want to deepen and darken any sections, like if you're down to this point and you're like, oh, I need a little bit more pink, do it. Do it, do it, do it, and do it before you move your stencil away. Okay, we're going to go in a little bit more just to cover that overlap. Doesn't that make like the prettiest orange? Yum. Yum, yum, yum. There we go. Okay. We are going to use these inks again, so I'm just going to leave them here. Okay. I'm just going to put brushes aside just so they're not in my way. Now, we need this stencil again because we're going to do another piece blended. So I am going to peel this one off. Okay. And normally I would take this to the sink and wash this. This is all comes off really easy because it's water-based. Excuse me. We're going to move this off to the side to dry. Don't worry about unsticking it yet. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that pretty? That's cool. Okay, we need our belly band. Okay, let me show you from my card. I only did the front. I figured the front was fine. So that's what we're going to do on this one. So I'm going to use my bone folder, make those fold lines creased. And again, this is already done as part of the kit. There are score lines. Okay. We're just going to rotate this for ease sake. Where's my skinny stuff? We are going to put a little bit of a white line instead of doing the whole thing because it sets it apart from the card. So the belly band looks like a separate part. Okay. To make your lines straight when you tape them, just use your ruler and decide on whatever the gap of white that you want to do. We're going to do 5 millimeters or half a centimeter, and I'm just going to make light tick marks, one at each end. So you can pick whatever margin you want. That was just easy. That's the way the ruler is set up. Then I'm going to pick, and you can do this. Haha, watch this. As long as you have 2 straight sides, cut this in half. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Because you got 2 straight edges, one on each end. Then you're going to use these to create your straight edges. Now, if you cover up those pencil lines, you can erase them afterwards. Hooray! There, see? Straight edge, don't have to worry about the other side. Okay, because obviously 2 straight edges, 1 piece, because I only need that little strip, right? So if I cover up those pencil marks, then I'm not going to trap them under the ink. Yeehaw! Let's just pull this over for 1 second. I'm just going to stick my pieces of tape up here. Okay, this is how I clean on the fly. Just good old water. Okay, spray down my stencil. Like I said, this is all washable with water. Okay, and just be careful and mindful of any of those edges that kind of stick up. You have to do the back too, because it always seems to get underneath. Okay. You could use, you could just throw these off to the side and wash them later, but because I need it again, we gotta wash it. All right. Okay, so then you find a place on your stencil that you'd like to put down, and then we're gonna put, there's lots of almost whole numbers kind of down towards the bottom of the stencil, so that's why I've chosen the bottom. And then we're just going to reuse some of these little fellows from the previous time. Okay, right, we're using the same 3 colors because this is how you make your cards unified. Okay, yellow. We're starting with our tiara. Okay, and just blending away. And again, think thirds. We're just blending it in a row from side to side instead. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. And of course, the more layers, the richer your ink color will be, the more vibrant. Good old pucker up. And if you stick your finger in the ink, make sure you wash off your fingers. And we're going to make that lovely orange. So again, today we're giving away our card that we make today, plus a little goodie for my stash. So don't forget to comment. Okay, and our last and final color for our stencil is our beloved crushed violet. And this inking will complete our belly band. So let's do a little reveal. Okay, are you ready? Ready, ready, ready? Fun, fun, fun. Okay, there's part of it. Stencil can go over here. Okay, and let's reveal. Okay, just be very slow at taking your tape off. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. It has a beautiful white border on it. Now, see those little tick marks from our pencil? Because I didn't trap them under the ink, I can just use my simple white eraser Just try not to touch the ink if you can. And I can basically, they're gone. So another tip and trick. So there you go. Our belly band is almost complete. All right. On to the next part, which we are going to be working with these two parts. Okay. So in the card, they are positioned like such. So they kind of go, one tip goes under and the opposite stays above. Okay. To create that shutter. But we're going to decorate them a little bit more. Okay. I'm not going to bother putting paper underneath this part because we're going to make this go fairly fast. So, where's my stamp set? So our stamp set that we're using today is also a photo play stamp set. And this is confetti. And it has all kinds of birthday stuff on it. So I've just picked a variety of words and phrases. It's party time, wish, HBD, happy birthday, your special day, it's your day, and celebrate. And I've got them all mounted on blocks. And all we're going to do is rotate through our colors and our phrases. Okay, so we're going to use the same lovely 3 inks. And you can start with anything and just rotate through. Okay, so it's a party time. And we're going to start top. And I've got my little chamois here. We'll clean as we go. That way I can come back and reuse stamps as we go. This one is your special day. And don't worry about if things drop off, because it would just be identical to your pattern paper, right? You're going to cut some words in half, right? HBD, getting it extra inky. And then just find a happy place for it. There we go, good clean. Rotating through, it's your day. And we're just kind of randomly putting stuff here. I'm going to go back to a thin one again. It's party time. We're going to go pucker up and just kind of put it on the edge. Let's go with celebrate. We're going to go pucker up. So you want to mix up big words, small words. And I try to start at one side and work down, or start in one corner and work away, because you want to be able to fill everything. We're going to go your special day again. And there are, you probably can't see it, but there's a score line for the design right there. And so I'm not worrying about that either. This is the word wish in a pretty script. And again, like I said, I'm just going from one to the next. And what I'm trying to use is use every color. And try not to put like the crushed violet next to itself. I'm just going down our little mini rainbow, I guess you could say. We want to use purple. There we go. And maybe, what do we want to use? We got a little bit of space down here. Let's use celebrate. And maybe go back to our crushed violet. Like I said, I'm not worried about doing whole words because it's acting like cut up paper. So you're not going to see all the words. Okay, let's work on this side. I'm just going to do a little ink tidy up here. There we go. And let's use wish at the top of this one. Let's start with pink this time. Wish. Such a pretty font. So you can use your fonts or your sentiment sets this way. Just find all the ones that kind of make sense, that are like full statements that would make sense being put together, if that makes any sense. Okay, purple or dark purple. But it's completely up to you what you use. Let's go Tiara. This one fits nicely because this is like the narrowest part, right? It's a good choice. We're going to go back to pucker up. It's your day. Something for purple. Let's do our big word, celebrate, this time. And I'm also trying to use different colors than the other side too, if that makes sense. So like celebrate is over here and pucker up. We'll use celebrate over here in crushed violet next. Again, going back to our smalls. And I'm trying to make this relatively easy on myself, basically making my own pattern paper. It's party time. There we go. And maybe we can fit like a wish, top of a wish in there. And let's even just finish it off with pucker up. Whee! There we go. And you know what? Haha. Let's go up here and put a pink wish too. And I even overlap them because that's fun, right? Fun, fun, fun. Oh, you know what? Let's put another wish. Just extrapolated there. And yeah, okay, that's done. I believe our inking is complete. Okay. All of our sentiment stamps are done. Okay, now it is assembly time. So we have our card base here, and this you just have to be just careful, and you're just gonna peel. If I can get my nails underneath it, peel this off. You just kind of got to get an edge. There we go. And because it's a low tack tape, it's going to be nice and gentle with your paper. Okay. Haha. Voila. Okay, so now comes the more difficult part. And this is why I do tutorials. Okay. So we need to do the shutter part. And as a precursor to getting everything straight, what I want to do is find the halfway mark down our card and just put a little tick mark. So these are 5.5 tall because they're an A2 sized card. So 2 3/4. And don't worry about these pencil marks because they're going to disappear under paper. Just trying to get this evened out. 2 3/4. Okay. There we go. That just it just helps with lining stuff up. And then I'm going to do the same on these. So these are 3.5. So might have to. I want to do it towards the edge. So 1 3/4 indicates halfway. And I'll show you why we do it out towards the edge here. Okay. Your pencil and your ruler are your best friend. Okay. So making sure that they're upright and in the right position, because you don't want to put them upside down. Okay, we need some super duper sticky adhesive. And this, of course, is Suang or Be Creative tape again. Okay, so you actually have to put adhesive on the top, the same side that you did your stamping, or you put your pattern paper over it. Okay, I'm just doing 2 just because it makes it stick just that much better. Okay, dun, 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 dun. We are so close. Oh, we're not doing too bad on time. I didn't think I would be able to get this done in an hour. Okay. All right. So what we do now is, because this tape is transparent, we can still see those pencil marks, but they're going to be hidden once we apply. Oh, if I can get the backer tape off. Haha. Okay, so these ones you have to be mindful. Okay, we're upright. See how you line up your 2 marks? Excuse me. This just ensures that everything is centered. Okay, so you line up your 2 marks. Make sure when you butt this cardstock, you're on this side of your score line. You know how score lines are they do have a thickness to them. So just make sure you stay on this side, just because you'll have better luck. Okay, and then you're gonna fold this sucker back. We're gonna rotate and do exactly the same thing on the other side. You're very welcome. I'm always looking to tell tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, because, I mean, saves you on product, saves you on ideas, and I have cat hair stuck in my adhesive. Who can relate? I have 2 kitties. I have a calico. Actually, she's a tabby calico. And I have a fat orange baby. So the other thing too is that you want to try your best to align these edges. Okay, if you've put your marks in the right place, it should automatically line up well. Okay, and then all you do is fold the flap, and I've got goober over it. Oh no! I wonder if I can erase. So this is a Mono Tombow sanding eraser. And because it's white, I might be able to get rid of it. So this has sand embedded in it, and it just acts like sandpaper. Best tool ever. Okay, so again, you want to go in and you're going to bend it back on itself. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, one tip has to be up and the other has to be whatever the opposite is. Okay, all right, now we got to put the magical piece in here that makes it all possible. So we have our viewfinder, and we need a little bit of foam tape. This helps. Okay, so it just helps with the mechanics of it to have a thickness. So I'm just going to do a little gauging for size here. Make sure I don't cut it too long. Okay, and then I'm going to literally cut this in half. Yes, Beth, I think they're in the shop. I'm pretty sure Rhea has them. So if you just put Mono, M-O-N-O, Mono eraser, pretty sure she has them in the shop. And they're only a couple bucks, like maybe $3, but they are truly, truly useful tool. Okay, so there is a good side and a not so good side on this. You can tell by the die. So we're going to flip it over so we can apply our foam tape to the bottom and the top. And I always put my straight edges, whichever is the factory made straight edge, looking out, because the hand cut edge is a little hanky, and so I bury it so you can't see it, because sometimes you can see this edge on your card. Okay, next you're going to take off the backer. Okay, make sure again that those two pieces are in the proper positioning. And I've got ink all over this again. Holy bejazzles. Yeah, we could put a sentiment over the top of that. And then you're going to center this within the back confines of the card. And you can 100% use your pencil, measure it out, all that jazz, but we're eyeballing this one. So just trying to make sure that everything is sitting correctly. Ta -ta -ta -ta. So there's your shutter aspect of your card. Woohoo! How awesome is that? And I have like a little... And I can almost get rid of it where you can't see it. Bravo! Okay, so there we go. Now we need something in the center of our shutter. So you can open it quite wide. Let's put one of our Tutti Patootie cupcakes, okay? Remember, they're double-sided sticky. So to attach them, all you have to do is peel off the backer paper. See? It just saves you one step. You don't have to find adhesive for it. Now, you do have to be careful because you have to kind of slide it in there. And we could put this one cockeyed. There we go. Bum-ba-da-dum. Ah. Oh. My cherry keeps falling out. Okay. Cherry sticker, and you don't even have to put the cherry stems on them. There is a cherry stem in the die. And you see the stickles, it stays in there because it's actually attached to the sticker backing, but it's still clear. Ha-ha! You can take the die cut from it and absolutely put that little piece back in, but you don't have to. I'll put our cherry there because sometimes they fall and they droop, right? So this one's droopy today. All right. Pushing everything back together. Come on, get in there. Oh. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So the whole purpose of this meaning the belly band, is to keep this closed. So see how it wants to pop up? Okay, it's all fine and dandy when it's in the envelope, but this is just a pretty way to close it. And let me show you my trick. Okay, so we're going to put this on. Okay, we're going to wrap it around very lightly. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, push it down and make it tight. You don't want it like super tight because you're just going to make more problems for yourself. Okay, my trick is absolutely teeny tiny Velcro stickers. So these are a Velcro product, and they're little clear as you can get anyway, stickers. So they're actually attached, but you just take your scissors and cut between them, okay? And I use these as closures because they're fast and easy. Because I don't like to actually tape my belly bands shut. Okay, so it doesn't matter which direction, just put fuzzy side on one and I'll show you the trick to the other. Oops, I should have done the other way. Oh well, no biggie. Okay, so these are I already pre-cut them. So you take its opposite and just put it on its partner. And all you do is just lightly close it, and they're stuck in the exact spot that you want it. So there's your closer. It's really easy. You can get like, I don't know, there's like 60 or 100 of them in a package. And easy way to close things like this. You can do this for card closures too, because they're see-through. Okay, one last item to go on our card. Now you have to be aware of this, because this is a full sticker, which means the top and the bottom are going to be sticky. There's ways to combat that. You can either stick a piece of paper to the back. So take this off. And so I'll show you two ways. Okay. So I'm going to fully stick this on first. If I can get the back paper off. And then I'll show you two different ways how you can make it not sticky. Okay. So I'm going to put this little puppy on this side. And I kind of like that you can see through the cupcake that stickles. See, you can see the stencil through there. Okay, so now you have two ends, see, that are still sticky. Uh-oh, you don't want to do that. So, first of all, just grab a piece of scrap paper, whatever color you've used. So white, in my case. Hello, scrap paper. Okay. So you don't need like a huge one. And what you're going to do is you're just going to place this behind, okay? Just needs to be a little bit larger. And then you're going to take your scissors and snip off the extra. Okay, so you're just going to, it's almost like fussy cutting. So if you don't like fussy cutting, this may not be the way to do it. But sometimes I find this to be the prettiest because it just looks like another piece of paper. Okay, so there, and then it's completely backed and it's not sticky. Okay, the other trick, and this one I don't do very often. So if you take an anti-static tool, okay, so this is filled with a powder. Everybody has different versions. This is mine. I've had this for probably close to 15 years and it still works. So take your anti-static tool and you're just going to add powder to your sticky part. Okay? That's it. Just make sure you get rid of the... We're going to just use my microfiber cloth here. And just get rid of the excess powder. But what it does is it just attaches to that sticker and it's no longer sticky. Haha! Tricks to the stick. So we just have one last little fella here. We have our cherry. So let's put our belly band back on. Again, easy closure, and then people can play with it, right? It's really easy to take off. You don't have to slip it down the card. Where is my box of treasures? 1 second. I'm just trying to find the cherry stem. If I can pick it out. Tweezers to the rescue. There. It's so tiny. So tiny. All right, here's our cherry. I'm just going to take a marker and color my stem because we're going to make it easy, right? I'm going to go W7 and it's showing the back. Okay. And I'm not worried about doing the whole thing. We're just doing the majority of it. Ba-ba-da-da. Done. Okay, and we're putting this on our cupcake. Remember, this is a sticker, so we can cheat. Peel off the backer. We're going to grab our tiny little baby cherry stem. And I'm just going to stick it to the back of our cherry sticker. And then you can basically put it wherever you want. There. Haha. So So that is our card today. I didn't honestly think we could get it done in an hour, but we did good. So this is your cute little shutter card. Remember, go get some Velcro dots. They're freaking brilliant. And here is your magical shutter cupcake reveal. Yum. I know somebody would appreciate this for sure. So like I said, I'm just going to go and take 1 minute after this live is done, and I will pick a comment from today's live, and somebody's going to win this card and a goodie from me. So awesome. Is Stickles like Wink of Stella? Not really. So Stickles, I'll pull in my scrap here. So it's the glitter is suspended in quite a thick medium. In this case, it's clear. Every Stickles is a little bit different. And a Wink of Stella, which is like this, is very, very liquidy. Okay. So, for instance, you might paint over the cupcake liner with this. This does not shed glitter. This will shed glitter. You can actually transfer this from your project everywhere. So there's applications for both. Okay. And again, you could always use an embossing glitter too. So you could put that in the gaps and then heat it up. And that would also be a more permanent touch of glitter, just because when you heat set glittered embossing powders, it traps everything in it. So yeah, different applications. This will eventually dry too. So like it's probably already dry on this, and it is. It really doesn't take all that long. So each one has their own application. They just happen to be my favorite Stickles for sure. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. I'm going to post the winner in just 1 minute. I will post it in the comment section. Please send me a PM. So my personal account, and I will put my comment with my personal account, not the Scrap and Stamp. So that you can PM me personally, because the Scrap and Stamp ones get buried. If you send it to my personal one, it won't. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you again next Sunday with a new project. Thanks again. Bye, guys.